Dong. Right, diving straight into the deep end of 2021's cyber chaos. It felt like a year where the digital world was constantly under siege from new angles. 小白. Totally. From sci-fi movie plots becoming reality to everyday apps leaking data faster than you can say privacy policy. Quite the roller coaster. Dong. Okay, first up, the Ares project. Sounds like something out of Fast Furious, but it's actually a chilling concept. Infecting satellites. That's playing in the big leagues. 小白. Yeah, the idea of turning space infrastructure into a massive botnet or control hub is terrifying. And the text nails it, the space internet is still young, so defenses are basically baby's first firewall. Easy pickings for anyone with a grudge or a paycheck. Dong. Exactly. It's not just about hacking your phone anymore, it's about potentially disrupting global communication, navigation, even disaster response systems. The attack surface is exponentially larger when you factor in orbital mechanics and satellite constellations. 小白, and the potential for cascading failures is huge. One compromised satellite could be the domino that knocks down the whole network. It's like the Wild West out there, but with much higher stakes. 小白. So, the ripple effect is huge. You mess with the satellites, you mess with everything on the ground that relies on them. GPS, weather forecasts, emergency comms. All vulnerable. Dong. Precisely. The interconnectedness is the key. And the proposed solution, building massive simulation environments on the ground, is interesting. It's essentially creating a digital twin of the space internet ecosystem. 小白. A digital twin, huh? Sounds fancy. Basically, a giant sandbox to test attacks and defenses without risking actual satellites? Makes sense. You can simulate constellations, network protocols, all that jazz. Dong. Pretty much. It allows for proactive testing, identifying weaknesses before they're exploited in the real world. Think of it as stress testing the entire system under simulated adversarial conditions. Essential for resilience in this domain. 小白. Moving on to something closer to home, GitHub Actions. Turns out, the very tools meant to streamline development can be weaponized. Mining crypto on someone else's server? Sneaky. Dong. Absolutely. The beauty of CI/CD pipelines is their automation. But that same power becomes a liability if the workflow definition itself is compromised. Submitting a malicious PR that triggers a mining job on the host server. That's clever exploitation. 小白. And the kicker is, it doesn't even need a user to click a link or install malware. It's automated execution. It's like the attacker found a backdoor in the system's own housekeeping. Dong. It highlights the principle of least privilege and the need for robust validation of external inputs, even within trusted ecosystems like GitHub. It's a classic case of trusting the process, but the process itself has been hijacked. Dong. GitHub's response is standard fare, block the bad guys. But the text points out the classic problem, the cat and mouse game. Block one account, another pops up. It's a persistent issue with online platforms. 小白. Totally. It's like whack-a-mole, but with potentially significant financial impact. The real takeaway for users is the mitigation steps. Restricting actions to only local or verified sources is crucial. Don't just blindly trust any action you find floating around. Dong. Exactly. It's about controlling the execution environment. Limiting permissions and carefully vetting workflows before they run, especially those triggered by external contributions, is paramount. And reporting suspicious activity helps the platform maintain its integrity. 小白. Yeah, it's a shared responsibility. Platform providers need better detection, and users need to be smarter about what they allow to run on their systems, even if it's hosted remotely. 小白. Okay, Apple's turn. This AWDL vulnerability sounds serious. Remote kernel access via Wi-Fi or AirDrop. That's not just a minor inconvenience. Dong. It's a critical flaw. The fact that Ian Beer from Project Zero spent 6 months finding it underscores the complexity involved. Gaining kernel-level access means the attacker has essentially root privileges on the device. 小白. And the potential actions are 海员听闻, reading emails, photos, listening through the mic, watching the camera. It's like having a physical key to the user's digital life, delivered wirelessly. Dong, the attack vector being Wi-Fi or AirDrop is particularly concerning. It implies proximity isn't always required. Exploiting standard protocols used for device discovery and communication opens up a wide attack surface. Dong, the speed mentioned, seconds to gain kernel access, is alarming. It shows the exploit was highly efficient. Thankfully, Apple patched it relatively quickly with iOS 13.5. Xiaobai, phew, good news there. But the reminder about AirDrop settings is spot on. Leaving it open to everyone is basically shouting I'm vulnerable to anyone nearby. Contacts only or off is the way to go unless you're actively sharing files. Dong, it's a simple setting but often overlooked. It reinforces the principle of minimizing exposure. Only enable features that are necessary and disable or restrict access to sensitive functions like AirDrop when not in use. Xiaobai, yep, basic security hygiene, but crucial. It's easy to forget these small things until something like this hits the news. Always double-check those default settings. Xiaobai, now for something completely different, but equally disturbing, the celebrity health code leak. Trading private health info for pocket change? Wild. Dong, it's a stark reminder of how seemingly innocuous features can become vectors for privacy violations. The Beijing Health Code mini-program, designed for public health, had a loophole. Xiaobai, and the scale of the trade is insane. 1 yuan for a method, 2 yuan for dozens of photos. It's like a black market for personal data. It shows how easily information intended for one purpose can be misused. Dong, the mechanism itself, using a proxy check feature with just name and ID number, was the vulnerability. It bypassed the intended verification step. It highlights the importance of strong authentication and authorization controls, even for seemingly simple features. Dong, the response was swift, thankfully. Adding facial recognition adds a layer of biometric verification, which is harder to spoof than just an ID number. Xiaobai, good catch. But the text's point about data lifecycle protection is crucial. Once data is out there, even if you delete it, copies might exist. De-anonymization is easy. It's like trying to unscramble an egg. Dong, exactly. Data security isn't just about locking the door, it's about managing the data from creation to destruction. Minimizing data collection, anonymizing where possible, and having robust deletion processes are vital. Xiaobai, and understanding that data is cheap to copy but expensive to protect. It forces us to think about privacy by design, not just as an afterthought. Protecting data throughout its entire journey is the only way to truly secure it. Dong, shifting gears to a major corporate incident, Malaysia Airlines. A 9-year data breach, affecting their frequent flyer program. That's a long exposure window. Xiaobai, 9 years. That's practically ancient history in tech years. And the source? A third-party IT provider. Classic case of the weakest link being the third party. Dong, third-party risk management is a perennial challenge. Organizations often outsource services, but they must ensure those providers adhere to stringent security standards. This incident clearly shows the consequences of failing to do so. Xiaobai, the data exposed, names, contacts, birth dates, etc. While not the most sensitive financial info, is still highly personal. Enough for identity theft or targeted scams. The lack of travel details is a silver lining, I guess. Xiaobai, so, the breach was finally disclosed after 9 years. Imagine the panic if members realized their data was floating around for almost a decade. Dong, transparency is key, even if delayed. Informing affected members is the first step. But the advice for users is standard: change passwords immediately. Xiaobai, yep, the universal password hygiene rule. Check if you use the same password elsewhere, change it. It's annoying, but necessary. Hopefully, Maya learned a harsh lesson about third-party security oversight. Dong, hopefully. This incident serves as a stark reminder that data security is a continuous process, not a one-time fix. Regular audits, especially of third-party relationships, are essential. Dong. Wrapping up, it's clear that despite all the advancements, data security remains a massive headache. From space to our phones, from corporate databases to personal health codes. Xiaobai, the leaky oil tanker analogy is apt. Data is everywhere, and it's spilling out constantly. We need stronger foundations, better third-party vetting, and smarter ways to manage data throughout its life. No shortcuts. Dong. Indeed. Security isn't optional anymore, it's the bedrock upon which the digital future must be built. Continuous effort is needed. Xiaobai, couldn't agree more. Time to get back to work, patching holes and securing the next frontier.